Hello, it's Adriana here. Thank you for stopping by. Today I have created some really simple cards with the new Couture Creations Earthly Delights collection. I find that this collection is such a beautiful collection. It's very versatile for birthdays and any themed cards or projects. I've created these very simple cards, and at the end of the video I'm going to show you how to create an A6 envelope with this 12 by 12 scoreboard. I just use a different technique here to create textures on these cards, and I'm just using the embossing folder and also the Card Deco pigment inks. It's a pearlized pigment ink that creates something a little bit different for the backgrounds, as you can see here. Using black cardstock, I embossed with the folder, the embossing folder from this collection, and then I just rubbed two colors over it. I used gold and bronze of the Card Deco Platinum Pearlescent pigment inks, and also added a bit of foiling and also some of the papers, the ephemera and die cuts. They're just a very quick and easy way of creating with the elements from this collection. And I'm adding a bit of foiling there, and also these die cuts of these palm leaves coloured in with alcohol inks. Just a really quick way of showing cards, but my main feature today is the envelope card, or the envelope to create if you want to create your own envelopes with the 12 by 12 scoring board. I do have lots of other different videos that include different ways you can create boxed envelopes and boxed cards and boxed boxes. This is the boxed envelope, and I do have a video of that in the description below, and I'll link that down below. I've put some stencils around the edges here with some ink, and that way this envelope box will hold the three actual cards, or you can, if you have multi-layered cards, 3D cards, that would be a great idea to put the card in that type of envelope. But I'm going to show you now also just how to create an envelope, just a plain flat envelope with the 12 by 12 scoring board. These are the pigment inks. I use the bronze and the gold, really nice lush pearlescent pigment inks, and they look wonderful on the black cardstock as well as on the cream one that I had designed here as well. This is the Earthly Delights collection, the paper pack. It's quite a beautiful collection. Comes in 12 by 12 papers and paper pack and paper kit, and this is a 6.5 by 6.5 paper pack. So the scoring board is of course 12 by 12 inches. I've cut my cardstock as per the diagram or the instructions on my guide here to creating a A6 card. I need to cut my cardstock at 8 7/8 of an inch by 8 7/8 of an inch. So it's a nice square. Now I'm going to zoom in here so you can actually see how I'm scoring my cardstock to create my envelope. So you see how this guide has got a measuring of inches on the side here at the end of the triangle, and there's a little triangle that sort of butts out at the top there. You are going to place your cardstock. This is really important. When it says the first score line is measured against this measuring guide here. So you line up your paper. It doesn't matter how big it is, whatever it says, you line it up. And this one here, to create this one, the score line is 3 3/4 of an inch. Once you line your paper up against that 3 3/4 on inch, you use your bone folder that's included with the scoreboard and score down. I sometimes make sure I can see that crease, because the next time you don't need to do another score line at 3 3/4. You are using the guide of that triangle here. See that bottom of that triangle? That needs to line up, and making sure you don't need that measuring anymore. You need to line that line up against that score line that you just created, and then you score down. You turn it around clockwise, and again using the bone folder and that score line, you make sure you line up that little triangle end right down where the score line of the previous score line that you did. Turn it around, and again you do it then. So you do that 3 times, but the first one is the initial one that's included with your guide, it tells you the first score line, and that's the first score line that you use your cardstock against that measuring tool, against that side of that guide lines. And this is perfect for an A6 card. It's just a little bit bigger, so that way if you do have bulky items, it will sort of fix those up. It will help you add them in. Just score down all the sides beautifully down with your folder, and then what you need to do is just get some scissors to cut out these little triangles that are just on the edges here. That way that folds in beautifully. You just need double-sided tape to secure the three ends, and of course the top flap would be left open for you to open up to reach your card in and out. So that's just the easy way of how, and it's the same technique that you use for any of the score lines. Your initial first score line is the one that you use with your guide, lining up your paper up against the edge, and then after that is just using the line that you had already scored, turning it around clockwise to get your right side. You don't have to measure it, you just score down from the score line. So that's a beautiful compact envelope for my beautiful card. The tools that I've used here, I just want to highlight the embossing folder from the Earthly Delights collection. I've used some craft stock that I folded in half to create the bases of my card. I used 2 decorative dies. I used the pots, boho pots die and stamp set, and also the palm leaf, and I've just highlighted them with some alcoholic markers, and also some using the Card Deco pigment inks for highlighting that embossing folder element, and adding all the beautiful elements from the ephemera pack, and adding some foiling sentiments from a previous collection. I have listed all the products down below, and I've also listed a couple of other videos that you might be interested in using with the Couture Creations scoreboard. Please visit couturecreations.com.au for some more inspiration from all the design team and from myself. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed my video. I'll see you around real soon. Bye for now.